You're listening to Rise to Your Purpose, a personal and spiritual development podcast for female entrepreneurs with a mission.
We're your hosts, Brandie and Natalie. All right, welcome back for this next episode of Rise to Your Purpose. And today I'm here with my friend Kristin. We've been able to meet online and have just been chatting and learning more about each other. And so was really excited when she wanted to be a part of our podcast and just letting you guys get to hear from her and her knowledge and have her share with you. So just a little bit of background information about her and why we have her on today. But then she's going to dive in even more. Is that she is a mom of 6, so definitely has her hands full. So I'm excited to kind of jump into that. But she's also in the network marketing space. She really loves, and you can even talk more about this too, but with her Norwex business of really helping women and other people make their homes safe for their families and without the harsh chemicals. And then she is also a course creator and does some coaching. So she has a couple of different courses, and one we'll kind of get to talk a little bit more about today. So excited for you guys to hear from her and how she what her journey has been like, and her just to kind of share her value with you. So Kristin, if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit more and where you're from, and kind of go ahead and start in with how did your business journey get started?
Great. Well, it's so great to be with you, Natalie. So I am Kristin Towle. My last name looks like Towle, but it's Towle, like Towle cookies. And I started my network marketing business almost 2 years ago. So I am still rather green, I would say, in the network marketing area and in the entrepreneurial world, but I am loving it. I do have 6 kids. I have a degree in theology, a PhD in theology. So I have been teaching as a professor for quite a while, but I jumped into network marketing because I loved the company and the products so much and wanted to get a lot of my own products from the company in a better way. I think this is why a lot of people will start, right? Yeah. And I also immediately wanted to start sharing with friends and family because when I was introduced to Norwex, I thought, why didn't anybody tell me about this 10 years earlier? Because it would have made my cleaning of my house that is so full of kids and so busy, it would have made it so much easier, faster, cleaner. And so, yeah, so that's how I got started. I was actually pregnant with my 6th when I signed up to work with Norwex. And I had a few parties right away, right at the end of my pregnancy, because I signed up at the end of August and I had my baby on October 27th. And so I remember one of my upline people kind of being amazed and being like, wow, why are you such a go-getter? You're pregnant, about to have your 6th baby. And that's part of my temperament, I think, which we'll get into a little later. But I just had this excitement to just really give it a go, this new business. Mm-hmm. So now I'm 2 years into it and building slowly. I would say I'm not at the top of my company or anything like that. But it's also the fact that I'm varied. You know, I'm taking care of the kids. I'm teaching. I'm developing the online courses. I'm kind of doing a lot all at once.
Yeah, we are kind of talking about that. So for you guys listening, we were sharing that commonality we have between us is that we have a lot of plates in the air, as you said. And when you said you were a mom of 6, I thought, oh my goodness. So you definitely, I think it's super inspiring that you are doing all the things while being a mother and and I think that's totally fine if you're not this, top of a company. I don't think that's necessarily the goal for everybody. And I think that's totally okay. And you also have the other strengths and gifts that you have, and you're using those in other areas of your life. And so I think that's awesome. And why don't we kind of talk about that first of being a mom of 6 and you knowing that, and maybe this will jump into with the temperaments as well. But how did you, or what gave you that drive to go ahead and say, you know what, I can be a teacher, a professor, I can have my own businesses, I can run and have these courses? What gave you that excitement, encouragement, and motivation as you're also being a full-time mom?
So becoming a mom came after I had already gotten most of the way through my PhD in theology. So I was actually pregnant with my second as I was defending my dissertation and moving into the world of then being able to teach. And for me, it was just a seamless transition into continuing to use the skills and gifts that God had given me and that I had developed through my education. I didn't see really, nobody said you need to stop or anything like that. I have a very encouraging family and encouraging husband. And then just having that inward drive to keep on contributing in an outward way to the world as I was also contributing and taking care of my family. That drive just had never really gone away. And so my husband and I have had to have lots of conversations about how are we going to make it work for me to be able to go and teach class or to edit a book, or not right now I'm translating a book. And so there definitely has to be a lot of teamwork and, you know, people who are on your side saying, yeah, this is great, go for it. And I've, thank goodness, had a lot of that support. So for me, it was just that I never wanted to stop contributing in an outward way at the same time as taking care of my kids. And I know there are lots of moms who have these amazing careers going and then they start having kids and they say, you know what, I just want to stay home now, I'm ready for this. And I think that is beautiful and wonderful too. People are called in different ways to balance their lives with outward contributions and then also taking care of your family. So it just has been consistent throughout these years that I feel that I've continued to be called by God to contribute in outward ways. And part of it is my temperament. I have a kind of a go, go, go temperament. And that's one of the things that I teach in my courses is that some people tend to just kind of go after things very easily and readily. And some people don't. They have to take more time to think about it and ponder it and get everything set just in the right way before they'll take that leap or take that jump. I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, I'll leap and give it a go.
Yeah.
we'll work it out along the way. So that's another reason why my life has taken the path that it has, because it doesn't take me very long to say, yep, I'll give that a try.
Right. I think we definitely have that in common because I feel like that's where I think that's why I ended up that way, because God has revealed to me that like that is just a part of me. I want to outwardly continue giving. Like I'm in teaching as well. But I was kind of like, what else do you have for me, God? Like I know there's more, and there's more things I can be doing to help others. So that's kind of how my journey kind of went that direction too. So we definitely have that in common. And then the go, go, go. I'm learning to, I don't know if you got to see, so I just started a 4-week like rest intensive, but it's like learning how to operate in rest, not necessarily meaning inactivity, but that even in itself has helped me to tone down a little bit of my go, 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 where that like stress can almost come up. And so I'm excited to dive into more about like your course that you have. It's called the 4 temperaments, or it's on the 4 temperaments. It's called Faith, Freedom, and Happiness in America, correct?
Actually, there are 2 different courses. I have 2 different online courses. Yes.
Okay. So why don't you explain that then first a little bit better for me? I apologize.
Yes, no, that's okay. So I have the one course that's on our God-given temperaments and becoming the best version of yourself. And that one, I don't have the next session of it scheduled yet, but it will be in the fall because I have some interest building of some more people who would like to take it. And then the other course that I have is Faith, Freedom, and Happiness in America. And that's a different course entirely. Okay. And what I have been doing right now as I've been building online courses is I have been running them live through Zoom sessions and through consistent emailing with resources. And so we actually are all going through the course together live. Students and I are, because I've taken a lot of courses online myself, and I know what happens when you're somebody who tends to go, go, go and have lots of ideas and have lots of plates in the air and pull from different directions and be pulled from different directions. You tend to let the courses that are not live go by the wayside, and you say, I will get to it, but not right now. And so knowing that for myself, and then also just knowing how great it is when you build up kind of a community of people who are going through something together. I've been starting out building these online courses by having them run live. So I let the students know we're going to meet on these nights. Now, if they can't come on those nights and they'd still like to take the course, that's definitely open to them. They can watch the videos, but I have found it works better if people have a time to show up, to be with other people and take the course together.
And
So
you definitely get, I mean, I noticed when we did that with our Rise to Your Purpose program and we made sure we met every week, it's definitely kind of developed this bond too. And it does allow, like, as you're learning to ask those questions, I think it's so important to have that kind of feedback then, like, as you're learning, as you're going through that, it's like kind of instantaneous feedback for you, and continuing learning together, I think makes a huge difference in that process.
it is, and it's so great. And especially when you're dealing with material that is higher, that's more complicated, or that you're trying to apply to your life, it's really good to have that direct interaction with the teacher and with other students. And I mean, this is how I teach when I am teaching live courses, just, at the place where I work. I'm constantly, the students and I are giving each other feedback and working together. So as I'm building the courses, I'm definitely doing that. And it's been really amazing to work with students online who wouldn't normally be able to come and take the course with me where I normally work. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, I love that. And so can you, without going too much into it, because we know they definitely would want to do that with you, because that's going to be coming up, I think you said in September, but can you tell us a little bit about more than of the 4 temperaments and what that kind of entails for us as maybe business, Christian business owners?
Right. So I learned about the 4 temperaments myself many, many years ago, and I've incorporated the 4 temperaments into many of my theology and philosophy courses, because what I found is that when we have greater self-knowledge and when we have a greater understanding of other people, we can operate better in the world. We can have an understanding of ourselves, that we have certain weaknesses and we have certain strengths that we were born with, actually, because God made us in a certain way, where for some people it's easier to be the leader and get everybody on board going in one direction. For other people, it's easier to put on parties and be the life of the party. And for yet other people, it's easier to spend a lot of time just alone and quiet and creating things, creating poetry, literature, art, and so forth. And for other people, it's easier to be very systematic and focus on tasks that others might consider mundane, and really be able to just carry those out really well and keep the peace with other people and just kind of do what you need to do. So I've described the 4 temperaments there. But there's much more to each of those 4 temperaments, and there are combinations of the temperaments that people usually have. Once you start to understand that this is how I'm naturally constituted, you can be more accepting of yourself, but also then you can take a really good look at yourself and find out, where do I need to improve? Because the point of the 4 temperaments is not to say, well, I just naturally get angry more easily, and that's just who I am. So there you have it, other people, right? The other people who then have to deal with you getting angry more easily. So that's not the point of it. The point of it is to be like, okay, I have this weakness. I naturally get angry pretty easily. How am I going to address that now? So there's that way of having the self-knowledge and then improving and growing in virtue. So that's really the other side of the coin. It's not only how we're naturally constituted, but it is also how we then grow into the best version of ourselves and really take stock of who we are, and then take a look at, where do I want to go and how do I grow in virtue? That's one aspect. Another aspect is when we see what our strengths and weaknesses are, we can know better how we can collaborate with other people, whether it be our spouse, our children, our coworkers, our friends, and we can be more accepting of our weaknesses that don't need to change, because it's not a matter of virtue. It's just a matter of, well, this is just one of the things that I'm not so great at. And in those areas, for instance, I'm just not super great at keeping a really good calendar and schedule. And we can work on that, and we can work on that. And for some of us, that is just really, really difficult. And sometimes the answer is just to say, I need to hire somebody who can keep my calendar and my schedule. I need to collaborate with somebody who can do that. I need to work with my spouse, and we both have the understanding that's not my strong point, and we can work together. So there are those two different kinds of weaknesses. So there's that. And then also understanding other people and their strengths and weaknesses. And the feedback that I got from my students was, many of them were married. I think almost all of them were married, was that they really understood their spouses better, and they could have better conversations about things that in the past had caused fights for them. So that was really awesome to see.
Yeah, better communication.
Yes. So, and then the same thing can happen in business too. I mean, you realize, well, some people take more time to think about something before they can give an answer, and maybe I'm a person who just answers before I think. And when you have that recognition, you can have a better understanding of how you communicate with your coworkers or people who are working for you. Or if you have a boss or something, it just really opens up your eyes to other people and how to work better with other people. So it's super valuable if you are running a business. Yeah. And you're working with clients and everything, just understanding some people are just naturally different, and they just see the world differently and react to it differently. So you start to grow in a way that you understand yourself, and you grow with other people.
Yeah, I think, well, and I can totally relate to that, because I'm just thinking of, okay, the organization of our team. I think of there are so many different personalities. So that was one thing I had to learn more about my team, to know who I knew I needed to maybe push a little bit more, who was like wanting that motivation, someone to keep on them, to where there's others who like, let me have my space and take my time, and like, let me know when there's something important. And so like knowing and understanding, I think, their temperaments in a sense, from what I'm understanding. And then I was telling you before, and for those of you listening, like Brandie and I, we've realized, well, being sisters and being best friends, like we knew we wanted to continue in business together. But at the beginning, we also realized like we worked very differently, which was a good thing, because we really kind of balanced each other out. But we had to learn more about each other, because we'd also have like conflict of with having lack of communication, or I would be the one that have all these ideas and want to go with things, where she was like, we need to organize it, we need to plan it. And so and that would stress her out if I would just hound her with all this information at once. And so we had to come up with kind of a business plan, and not just be like reactive all the time. And so I think learning about each other really helped us be able to be more successful together, be able just to get along even better, and learn more, to help us move forward, and having that just open, more clear communication. So I think that's where I'm like, I should probably do some more things like that with my husband, so that maybe we can have better communication sometimes.
It's so helpful when people learn about the temperaments and learn about themselves, and really spend time pondering what they learned. So that's why I actually have this course go over a number of weeks, so that it's not just kind of a one and done, here's what you are, go take it and run with it. It's actually, let's ponder it, let's come back together and talk about another aspect of this and how this can apply. Okay, now go think about it some more, have some more conversations with people, and then come back and we'll think about it more. So I like to have this course for people, because not everybody likes to read, or not everybody likes to just try to do self-improvement on their own. They like to work in a community, have a teacher in some way. So
yeah, I love that, because I think, you'll definitely have the community, you have the teaching, and where it's more it sounds like it's going to be very conversational. And then there's some resources that go with it to help you with your learning.
yes.
And I know you said that's launching again soon. So when is that launching?
So I am hoping to have that in October.
Okay.
My other course on faith, freedom, and happiness in America is launching in September, and that's going to be a 4-week course, and that's going to be something that is going to be focused on bringing our faith into the public square. And so in order to be able to talk about human dignity and freedom and the common good and different things that are really coming to the forefront right now in these days.
I was going to say, how timely.
So
Perfect.
in order to be able to, talk about what we believe and how good God is, and his plan for human beings, his plan for marriage and family and society, we have to go deeper ourselves and understand what the church teaches on that. And so I saw things kind of unfolding this summer. And I know, I mean, many people have said when I've gone and given talks at different churches and for different groups, they've said, you know, I just would love to learn more. I want to know more. And so I know people are out there hungry for, you know, I want to know more, go deeper into my faith, be able to converse about it with other people who don't necessarily agree with me. And so I just thought, well, what can I do? I can teach. So I can teach a course on this. So actually I just am developing this, and this is the first time I'm launching this course. It's just being developed now, although it's coming out of other courses that I've taught. The content is, but we're going to be together for 4 weeks doing that. And then I hope I can relaunch the temperaments course in October for a new group of students.
Yeah, I love that. Because I think that'll really relate to a lot of the women too within our Purpose Partner community, because we all have this yearning, I think, and desire for wanting more of God, and then more of, okay, how can we bring him into the marketplace or into, you know, our businesses? And so I love that that is a great way too of those of, and some of the women I've talked to who feel like they're called to really share their faith, even just like out publicly, not, you know, not necessarily just with someone on Messenger or something like that. And so it sounds like this will definitely be something that really helps you with that and helps you with your understanding, your knowledge, and moving forward in that discipleship. So I think that's really exciting.
Yes, I'm really excited about it. Yes. And I just got done teaching a class on philosophy and the things that we have in our past, where we can go and read what people have said and just the wisdom there. So it's, you know, I will be incorporating Plato and Aristotle in a way that that people can not feel intimidated by these philosophers, but they can understand how much ideas have consequences. And so, I mean, we see it in our society, the ideas that people have about what it means to be a human being, what it means to live together in society, what marriage means, what a family means. Those have consequences. We see it play out in people's lives. So it's important that you know what the ideas are.
Yeah. And I love your mission too. Like you said, it's about helping people go deeper in their faith and in their missions and to live out their mission. So I love that. And that's what we're all about here. Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising is helping women live their purpose and their mission that God has given them, whether they're, and doing that through their business, whatever that looks like, and just through their own personal life and experiences. So thank you so much for joining us today. So tell us, like, how can people get to meet you? And you guys, I know we will have her links on the show notes, so you can definitely go there. But what is the best way if they want to learn more about your courses that they could find you and get that information?
Right. So I am on Instagram and on Facebook. I love connecting with people on Facebook, and you can just connect with me right in my personal profile. It's Kristin Elizabeth Towle. So I think maybe we'll put that down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right. And then on Instagram, it's Kristin Towle _philosophia. So a little Greek in there. So we're going to need to write it out so that people can see what that is. And I love getting into Messenger with people. I love having chats. So and I love having phone conversations too. So I definitely welcome that. But I'm doing more and more promoting of the courses through Facebook and Instagram. But then I also will have the links, right?
Yep.
So
Yep. So if you have, so you'll have I think you said you do have like a course landing page that kind of shares more about it with information. So we'll put that in there as well, so you guys can click on that and be sure to get everything that you need. But definitely, connect with her on Facebook. She is wonderful to connect to, and like she said, easygoing. So she will welcome you with open arms. Thank you again so much. We're glad that we were able to have you on this episode of Rise to Your Purpose, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you, Natalie.
Rise to Your Purpose will be a weekly podcast. Our hope is to inspire and educate you on your entrepreneurial journey to help you fuel your passions, live your purpose, and build a business that works for you. You can subscribe, rate, and comment on any podcast app. We'd love to hear from you. It makes us so happy to see you tuning in to the show. So if you're on Instagram, let us know what your favorite part of the show was by taking a screenshot of the episode you tuned into and tag us at Live Victorious on your story. Let us know what your favorite quote or takeaway from the episode was so that we can be inspired to keep creating content like this for you. To learn more about us and get involved with our community of mission-driven entrepreneurs, join our Facebook group, Purpose Partners, where we partner together in faith and business. So until next time, build a business that works for you and stay in alignment with your mission.